Hey guys, it's Greg, Danny, and Joe here for Ritual Gaming, and we are bringing you episode 13, Life After 30. Now today we have a special
80.
Life
We've after 80.
Oh yeah. I think I was just thinking about myself there. All right, we're not going to edit that. We're not going to fix it.
All
right. So we got a special guest today from Team InSync. We've got Merlin Darkmage. Thanks a lot for joining us. We really appreciate it. And let's just jump into our first topic since it's all about you. So, Joe, why don't you introduce Merlin a little bit and why we got him on the show?
Yeah, well, if you've been playing this game we play in any kind of capacity, really, you will have probably had a look at those raid leaderboards, and you will have noticed there is a team that never moves from place 1 and place 2, and they are called Team Instinct. And yeah, they're a pretty hardcore bunch of Galaxy Hero players, among other games. And you know, we've been hanging out on Merlin's stream on the internet and a few other situations, and we figured it was long overdue. We got him on the show. So, what's up?
What is up? It's a great day for a Galaxy of Heroes. And
It is.
Last time we talked, Oprah Winfrey was giving away Ayla Secure Shards. Now CG's giving them away in shipments. So, hey, check out that sexy blue gal pal if you need her.
Yeah, for the bargain price of all of your money.
All of your money in premium currency. It's delicious.
I think it was today Danny sent us a WhatsApp in our RG podcast thing, and it says, look, I can get 3 Ayla Secura shards for half of all the crystals I have.
Man, it's totally worth it. You could be rock. Nope, never mind.
Yeah. Well, if you're just jewel farming her and Sunfac and maybe a bit of Leia, you know, it's cheap.
Yeah, you'll have them really quick too. So, all right, let's get into our first topic about scheduling. So, one of the things that we were really interested about before and thinking about stuff to ask you before you came on was how have you guys actually managed to maintain rank 1 and 2 on the leaderboard the entire time, even after the resets? Has it been kind of a conscious thing, or has it been you guys have been just raiding when everyone else is raiding and things like that? What do you think, Merlin?
Well, it's not exactly rocket science in my mind, but when we've got enough coins, we raid and we do T7. We've only ever done T7 raids, except since I'm part of Delta, which is the baby lesser of the two, which is quite nice because we don't have the super competitive folks on us all the time, so it's really nice. It's more laid back and relaxed, like what you guys are and are used to. But basically, right now we're on a Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. We do one. We just all out Zerg on the weekends and go at it and compete. And then Wednesday we make sure we get as much participation as possible. But we can down it in a matter of 15 minutes if everyone's there. About 47 people showed up on Saturday, and we downed it in 15 minutes again.
Do you guys have like a wide variety of people in different time zones, or are you mostly just in the same time zone?
It's global. I mean, we've got people in Europe, we've got people in Asia, we've got people everywhere. So it's our leadership is based on mountain time, so the MDT time zone. So I'm an hour ahead of the resets, so that kind of helps and hurts me because if I'm not paying attention to the one thing that I'm not liking about raids, where it's like, what can you play today and what can you not do? You cannot do your Galactic War today. Save it for tomorrow. That stuff I'm not so excited about, but we always hit the highest tier, so we get the maximum amount of coins, and as soon as we can raid, we're raiding. So I mean, it's not gonna stay always Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm sure we'll mix it up here and there, depending upon if people are coming or going or holidays. Like we did something different on Mother's Day weekend. We didn't even raid on that Sunday. So it's really nice when it's more of a family community setting where it's not just a bunch of 50 ego-driven people like you would think. It's actually we're all on Slack. We talk all day long. People come in the stream. They join my Discord. They come talk to me. It's a very nice family setting, like some other places I was in the beginning were. So it's very nice.
Do you think that since you guys have only run Tier 7, maybe almost all other guilds have kind of shied away from running Guild 7 immediately, and that's why you think it's so simple that you just started right away and that's why you're on top?
Yeah, you just got off to such a quick start.
That was true for the first, but we've had a reset since then, and I know.
That's true.
I know of other guilds that held coins so that they could have their moment of real men of genius moment and their moment of glory while they popped up there. But I mean, we're consistently hitting it, and we're consistently doing as many raids as possible, and everyone stays in the guild. No one's jumping around. Nothing funky's going on. I see the forums get lit up with all these conspiracy theories on how are they doing it. And for those of you that are wondering, the reason both names are Team Instinct is we had originally put that name in, but you'll remember when guilds went live, there were errors. And so one Team Instinct has an L, a lowercase L, and the other has an uppercase I. So that's how its appearance makes it look one and the same.
Ah,
because I remember for a while, was there a secondary, well, it might have just been a renamed version. It was Instinct Legends, was it?
Yep, that's the one I'm in.
And then, so that you just guys changed the name to Team Instinct with a little bit of different upper and lowercase so you can keep the uniform names on the board, because it does look good on the board, I gotta say.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, and when we formed the guild, it actually isn't, Legends isn't the 50 to 100 ranks. We actually have, like, our leadership is really, really competitive with their roster. They just wanted the opportunity to stay with some friends. So when we split up the guilds, it was actually who wants to be with whom and who knows who and who started playing and who's on whose shard was more of a factor than, okay, what's your power ranking and who's the strongest, and let's put all the strongest people in one guild. We're actually really diversified, and it's really helped us stay competitive, surprisingly.
Nice.
Yeah, because that's the question.
Yeah,
the
leads
question
to
I
our
had.
next one. Yeah.
Yeah, that I was wondering. So obviously, in terms of gear, we're rapidly realizing that tier 7, it kind of doesn't really matter where you come. Like I the other day, I totally missed our raid. I ordered like 2 teams, just threw them at the Rancor in phase 4 to just be munched up. I came 42nd or something, and I got a full droid caller out of it, And then the guy in first, he's timed out all his attacks, got it perfect, And so the only real upside is that guild currency and, of course, those Han Solo shards. So I was curious, with such a bunch of high-level players together, obviously you've partly answered it. You guys are all real chill and you're all friends and you all just kind of hang out. No one's like at each other's throat for those precious extra Solo shards. But do you have any kind of method of making sure you deal them out kind of evenly? You're like, you take first today, or is it just like do the best you can, see what comes up?
No, since this is still really early, so we're still fine-tuning what exactly is the best team, which is what you're going to get into here in a little bit for each phase, and it's nice to see some of the people. Gear is a big deal right now.
Yeah.
So the people that have the best geared characters are actually doing and surviving and doing the most damage because they can survive. The protection and the health that's given from the gear is a big deal, along with like Ray Gear 10, just insane amounts of damage. So that's just kind of whoever's gotten the best RNGesus love, the RNG, the random number generator, whoever's gotten the best love on that from the game is who's doing the best right now. And that's not anything we can control, and we recognize that. Doesn't mean we're necessarily happy about it. But placement does matter, because if you look at it, there's a disparity in how many salvage pieces for the unobtainable, if you would, gear you're getting. So it does benefit you to finish higher because you're going to be able to craft quicker, which is good and bad. One, it makes us want to be competitive and improve. So like the first raid, I had I could only run 3 full 7-star gear whatever teams, right? And so since then I've farmed hard, and I actually finished in the teens the other day. And I started late February, and a lot of these guys are November, December players. So I'm actually like, hey, I'm doing really good. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's working. So having those extra salvage pieces gave me some extra gear that's helping me compete. So it is kind of a big deal where you place, but you can't control any of it. And to say, oh, let's let someone finish this play, you can't really do it. You got to just kill the Rancor. You got to smother some hot sauce on him and kill him.
Well,
Barbecue
we've been
him.
struggling with our raids where we were killing it too fast, where people couldn't get a piece of it. And so obviously, I guess with your raids, you're saying you're raiding 3 times a week. Do you have it set down to a certain time where, okay, everyone has to be on at this time, or else you might miss the raid?
Yeah, so we have Slack, which is just like Discord minus voice, but it allows you to search and do announcements and control a lot of factors. It's an enhanced version of Line or WhatsApp. And Discord without voice is a good comparison. And they always have the announcements in there, and we're on there all day talking about what time we're going to do stuff. And actually, surprisingly, a lot of the American folks don't mind doing stuff in the mornings when it's good to get our Europeans and Asian folks involved, so that we do get about 35 to 44 people on a Zerg raid. So that's where we're just going in and killing it in 15 minutes. Now, we do have other strategies where the very first time when people didn't get to participate, the people were up in arms. Hey, I wanted to raid. So we did have a tiny significant amount of drama, but luckily we work it out pretty quick. And what's important is that, like, during the week, we have a 12-hour window where we start the raid, send your worst characters, let them die. That way everyone's on the board, and then whenever we have the official start time, whoever's there can show up. That's been working nice so that people can still get something of the gear, which is helping them stay competitive in arena, because that's where we like to dominate. So that's been one of the things, but that's only during the week. On the weekends, it's just go kill the thing, and our people want to play the game, and they do understand, hey, life comes up. If I have to miss because I need to go take my sick wife to the doctor, it's going to happen. And, just don't be so addicted. Family always comes first. If you take nothing else away from any of my streams, family, life comes first. It's a game.
Right.
And people are like, curse you, Merlin, you Darkmage, you lie. This is life. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is everything.
So that's kind of interesting what you were saying there, where obviously people should take a slower approach to the game, not really worry too much about where they're coming. But do you have people in your guild that you see on a regular basis kind of, at the bottom, or do you kind of more have people in your raids that, constantly your rank 50 to 25, let's say, is in flux? Or do you have some people in your raid that just aren't really that concerned about placing higher?
Right now, the first 15 to 20 spots are pretty consistent because they've been able to test teams. They've done every raid. I think we've done like 11 or 12. And that's been consistent. The other people like myself, where I was finishing lower, is just I'm still playing catch up every day, and I want to stay competitive. And so I'm 7-starring characters. I'm trying new teams. I'm talking to people, testing new teams, and that's why I'm having the success and moving up. And the people that are staying stagnant, not trying anything else, they may drop a little as folks like myself catch up. And there are a couple people where they got to 80, and we're talking about life after 80, and they're like, okay, I'm not dumping a bunch of crystals into refreshes anymore. I got to 80. I want to slow farm it, do my Galactic War, do my arena, get my cash every day, and level up my characters as I can and do the slow grind, because we're in slow grind phase, people. Once you hit 80, it's time to farm and get a good bench. If anything, the Omega, you need a deep bench so that you have versatility of characters, the rare all that, know that you have all just
hold on, we're just getting a little bit. Is anyone else getting that problem?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to just try and talk again, Merlin?
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, we're just having a little glitch. Go ahead, say that again.
That's okay. Grande Patron tried to message me. That might be it. What's up, bearded man? So,
wise and noble leader.
Bitch. Yeah, your wise and noble Gandalf the Grey, as I call him. But bench strength is important, and I was saying the Omega events, the raids, all of that is proving that you need to have versatility in characters. You can't have all of one type. And so that's what we're finding out. And when we get into the raid phase later, we can talk about team synergies that I'm mentioning right now. So I don't want to get you off of your topic and be all over the place.
Let's talk a little bit about where we were talking about before the show. Obviously, as we said before, you guys have been rank 1, rank 2 for an extended period of time. I mean, we'll see what happens when the ladder resets next. I'm pretty sure.
Omega.
Coming for you.
But,
it's good.
You've been there for a long time. With with those rankings, there's not too much going on for a reward of that yet. Are you guys kind of hoping that those will come, or do you think they might never come at all, and really it's just advertisement for your guild?
Personally, I was pretty disappointed that there's no sense to compete aside from just the notoriety. I mean, if someone is beating a tier 7 and putting the resources and everything into the game, why not reward a guild for, one, functioning properly, and two, continuing to keep it competitive? Yeah, it's competitive in terms of every time you log in, you have to see our guild's name, but that's not why we do it. We're just competitive. We hate to lose in general. So the fact that there's not a reward like other games, do I have to mention Supercell and Clash of Clans? You get gems and premium currency if you rank in the top 3 or whatever. I mean, it would be nice if there was some kind of force pushing everyone to want to compete, to want to improve their roster and get up and only do tier 7s. Now, who knows if we're going to have other types of raids, because when you go into the raid screen right now, you can definitely tell it's just a small picture on there. And who knows what else is coming. I mean, when you look at that, it's like, hey, Mr. Rancor, what else is next to you?
Right on the side,
what is next? So I think that'll keep it competitive. I mean, when I work at an airline and do IT support, I know we're constantly working on things, and there's want to haves and need to haves and must haves, and there's some really nice to have things that we as players would really like right now, but we're not seeing.
Honestly, I think the rewards could be, they don't have to be huge. You know what I mean? They can just be, I don't know, 100 crystals each or something. That's not a big deal, but I mean, it's something to get you motivated at least.
Right. That you and I are in agreement on that. And seeing as you're still completing missions for 160 whopping Republic credits. I mean, okay, be stingy, CG, but give me something.
Yeah.
Give me something to compete for.
I mean, with us in Omega, we were having a chat today with aforementioned Grand Patron, and he was like, okay, so I've got this strategy where we could be competing for top 3 if we enact it after the next reset. Like, should we gear up for that? And he put it to the guild. And we're a bit more of a laid-back guild. Like, our focus is, we're doing tier 7 non-stop, so we're not that laid back, but we're laid back in the sense that we have a schedule for our guild that is based around making sure every guild we have all 50 participate. And it's more focused on just keeping everyone together and having a chat, and we have a good time with it. And so as a result of there being no rewards for 1, 2, or 3, or down to 10 or whatever, we all just kind of went, nah, let's just keep it how it is. Everyone's chill. We can keep the schedule nice and loose and make sure everyone gets involved. If we want to do this crazy plan to stay in the top 5, we might need to compromise the kind of peace that we've managed to acquire so far.
Yeah,
if they threw some awards on, we'd be right in there. It's silly. They're not motivating us to do that.
I would definitely be way more motivated to, kind of try and min-max my teams for raids instead of arena if there were any awards at all.
Yeah, I was telling Patron as well. I was saying, if we hit rank 700 or whatever, it just doesn't matter. Because if I missed out on a piece of gear, if I missed out on a droid collar just because they really wanted to hit 3rd place, but there's no actual reward for me in any sense, then I'd be a lot more bummed than being at rank 700. However, Joe, if you go into game and go on the guild chat, a lot of people are opposing to that idea. They're not as chill. They're kind of like, no, I want to be on top. I think it'd be cool, or maybe, after leaderboard reset, they will implement this reward system or something. So yeah, our guild is quite divided in that idea of maybe being first or
There's no way they're going to implement a reward system and not advertise it weeks beforehand.
I agree, but I'm not half of the guild, so
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, Fives took a nosedive the other day. We gave away free Yoda. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past CG to say, "Hey, surprise!" I mean,
That's
remember their whole April Fools, like, here comes the Yoda event, surprise! After everyone had been asking for almost an entirety of a month, when's he coming back? Surprise!
Yeah.
Now, we'll see.
Let's just before we switch topic, let's quickly address. You were saying that you guys in Team Instinct really try and dominate an arena. Is that pretty much everyone in the guild? Do they have that goal, or are you guys all trying to rep your guild on your individual shards?
It's for some people, it's definitely the pride of being number one individually and as a team or a guild. Definitely, we're encouraged to stay really competitive, and for the most part, most people are. I don't think I see very many people that are outside of the top 10 in our guild. Very rarely, unless they're outside of their payout time. But the most important reason why I do it is it's a paycheck. It's my crystals. It's my tokens. It's, I don't have every single 79 characters like some of the other folks do. And so for me, it's my key to farming. Credits are hard to come by. If I'm getting 50K credits from rank 1, give them to me, man. I mean, that's the only way we're going to get them. Is competing for them. And so, yeah, I'm competitive. I hate to lose. It's not like Ricky Bobby where he's like, well, I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. I mean, it's not an arrogance thing. We're just all competitive at heart. And especially when we're saying, hey, I'm having trouble with this arena team, we'll talk about it and say, hey, try this composition against it. And a lot of it's our trial grounds as we're in there and we're testing. You'll see. The reason I contacted you guys the other day was you had called out about PCX 99 already, and he's actually sure he's a constant.
You're kind of
a lot. Sorry,
we lost you again.
Just losing you a little bit.
Hey, come back.
There we
You
go.
can blame
All right,
on.
it worked.
Did Grande Patron message you again?
Yeah.
It's all his fault.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's see,
go
where'd
ahead.
you
What were
lose
you
me
saying? PCX 9.
Yeah, PCX 99. That's why I contacted you guys. He's on my server. He and I battle it out all the time. And
Nice.
He's testing his teams on me, and in a lot of his videos on YouTube, you'll see my teams on defense a lot. So it's really nice and informative for me to have that option. If you ever want to see how a team acts on defense, put your team in and hit auto, and it's no different. It just depends who goes first, honestly.
Although you
yeah.
say that when you put your team in and hit auto, I notice there's always a certain character that you're going to have targeted at the beginning. Is that in the same case? If your team is on defense, are they always going to target that character? So
It's usually the leader. It's usually the leader.
is it the leader?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
And unless you manually intervene, that's where it
It's
starts
leader.
off.
No wonder Dooku Daka teams can be so frustrating.
I was a scumbag and I ran Dooku for the longest time. Now it's moved to the old bent for me. So.
Can I just say one thing, Greg?
Yeah.
Remember our More Than a Feeling where we thought that HK-47 was being hit more than anyone else?
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Because he's leader.
Oh man, we're like, gosh, this guy just takes a beating at all times.
Yeah, he loves it though.
Yeah.
He just comes back for more. He's like, I'm dead. No, I'm not. Hit me again.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Surprise.
All
Hey,
right.
Merlin, how close are you guys to... How close is the first person to getting Han Solo on your team, on your
Oh,
guild?
yeah, I want to know this.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know the exact numbers. There's 2 people hovering around, I think 90 shards or more at this point.
Pretty close.
Couple more
So-
raids.
Nice.
Yeah.
They better
weeks.
get. I hope they just. Why can't they introduce stuff like this in this game like they had in WoW? I always bring up WoW before, but things like, okay, the first guy that gets Han Solo gets it with like a slightly different shader on his clothing or something like that, just so when he's bringing that into arena, people can be like, whoa, what is that? I've never
Got
seen
gold
that.
blasters or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Got 007 mixed with wow. That's awesome.
All right, let's go on to our next topic of difficulty in the raids. So our guild just recently started doing the heroic tier 7, and I think we were all quite surprised at how easy it was, how quickly we did it. Like definitely, as I said before, the first time we did it, we accidentally did it too fast, and some people didn't get to participate. Why do you think that is, Joe?
We underestimated, or overestimated it, I guess. We thought, because on tier 6, we'd been using a refresh. So we got it to the point where we almost had the Rancor dead before the refresh, and then we would just refresh and then just polish it off in 10 minutes. And we were kind of going like, right, well, this T7 is going to be this this hard graft, and we only did about 2 T6s before we hit T7. So the news was just starting to spread from guilds like your own, Team Instinct, that actually, guys, T7's kind of easy if you've got the right teams. And we were like, okay, so we had this, chat in guild, deciding, okay, let's do this. We think we've got a few like teams who've got their cleansers ready, and would be able to handle phase 1, and then it's just zerg until it's done pretty much. And we went in and we just smashed it real quick. And again, it was just one of those things where our guild has never been really pushing to be. We're in top 25, top 30 guilds, but we were never really pushing to be number 1, and it was more about being all inclusive. And
we were number 1 when the thing came out. It's fine. We don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
We touched that sky.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we were kind of cautious. I guess for the same reason we were number 1, because we could have been doing T6s, but we were doing T5s. So for those first few weeks, we were just creaming T5 after T5 after T5 and just accruing a lot of points quickly. Then as soon as teams like Instinct started finishing the 7, they just overtook and kept it.
Well, I think also, tier 7, because of the whales on our guild and like the people who have a huge roster on our guild, there's no limitation to teams you can bring in. So they can easily clear a lot of the phases without, problems.
Yeah, they like the top hitters in our guild are really good. They all know that they've got the rosters to do it, and they intentionally hold back, and they're just like, I'm going to put in 300k and stop.
Yeah.
And then everyone have a good time. And then if they just need to top up to ensure they come first, well, they've earned that. Like, they deserve it, right? Like, go take another team and get another 100k. No one's going to catch up with you, And so it's been more like a make sure everyone gets in. Make sure, like today we had one person miss, I think, and that was a bummer for us because our last 2 raids we managed to get all 50 in. And it was all down to just overestimating the difficulty of it, thinking we were going to get like hammered and like be struggling to finish it, and then everyone was like, "Whoops, we killed it."
Yeah.
So there's definitely certain teams that are crushing the different levels. I'm sure a lot of people that are watching are familiar with these teams, but why don't we just quickly go through some guys? Like now that it's been researched a bit more, what do you guys really think is crushing phase 1?
Cleansers.
Yeah, obviously cleansers and dispellers, and you kind of need both of those to even try and enter.
Do you do phase 1 in your raid, Merlin?
I love to do phase 1. Phase 1 is where you get a majority of your damage. So people that are wanting to finish in the top 10 need to be a part of phase 1.
If you've got the right team, like if you've got your Rex and you got your Qui-Gon geared up and you got your Rey nice and tasty, you can just slam those poor pigs, right? Like,
yeah, I remember they showed like the damage they did, and I was like, okay, that's like 5 more times than I can do in any other phase. Like that's
the
crazy.
guys with the right team are pulling off like they're having to pull the brakes on just so they don't do 1,000,000 damage. They're taking turns going in, so because they're doing 25% of phase 1 on their own.
Yep. Yep.
So they have to like coordinate. Don't have 2 people in at a time because
what
you're
team
trying
do
to
you
avoid
run,
waste
Merlin?
damage.
The most popular right now is with Phasma lead because you get the assists with the slow and the victory march. So that's really, really good abilities, and her leadership is quintessential. You already listed Qui-Gon. He's the hippie just won't go away. He's got the long hair. He's here to stay. His turn meter manipulation and high potency is a big deal for if you can get it to land on the captain, you can get extra turns in. Rex definitely is essential for one, giving you the turn meter and tenacity up, as well as removing the debuffs like Death Mark. And then it's the last 2 spots are for heavy DPS. If you've got a Rey and you've Omega Dollar abilities and she's geared, you can put her in and hope to escape her for another phase later is what a lot of people like to do. I've been playing with going. A lot of folks would be good using GS or pay-to-plays use Leia, GS. If Tusken Raider did more damage, he might be good, but he's got a call on assist. So it's the last 2 spots can vary depending on what you have leveled and geared for damage. Honorable mention in place of Rex, Admiral Akbar is really good.
Yeah.
And trying to think, everyone else is obtainable. So the only pay-to-play character is Rex that I'm using aside from Leia. So
I'm
those
hearing
2,
a lot of Lobot as well. People are talking about Lobot in the first tier, or in their first phase.
That might be just
He's
for
another
his,
cleanser. Yeah.
that might just be for the cleanse. I don't really have a use for Sir Lobot.
Yeah,
I like his headgear, but I get more damage elsewhere from other folks that have more skills and abilities geared towards that.
Mm.
And you're right. If you can just slay the piggies, for a long time people were like, "Oh, just CC and stun them." Well, when you have characters that stun, you're giving up damage unless it works well on T6, like you saw the 4 Ewoks and our Royal Guard just wreck face. I mean, that's great, but on Heroic, surprisingly, the reason it seems so much easier for everyone is that Tier 7 health is reduced a lot, but you have to be able to take the hits, and when you look at the requirements on the different tiers, when it's saying, hey, you have to have level 80 gear 9, what they're really telling you is be able to take a hit and dish back damage. And, if you're having characters that, like Ray, that have foresight, abuse that too. We have all learned through the arena and through raids, foresight is a free taunt and a free dodge. Abuse it. It's there. Use it.
Yeah, I got my resistance pilot up to take him into the raid just for that reason alone. Like, he's got such high potency, he can land and expose on the Rancor, and that can do some crazy damage. Obviously not 20% of his remaining health, which would have been a little broke, but yeah, he can land exposes and be putting foresight on himself. I take him in rank 7. I've only leveled him up to 70 because I've got other priorities for my arena teams to put money into, but yeah, he's a valid addition to any of those, like,
yeah, I'm jealous you
bonus
started him.
DPS stats.
It's quite clever.
Yeah, and so if I help Greg with his job, I'll push us to a phase 2 team, right? You guys should be rocking phase 2 because droids are quintessentially the best team I could think of in that door phase.
Yeah.
And since you are the droid experts, I'll actually defer to you to talk about how you like to.
I've missed
It's
it the last 3
Christmas
raids.
morning.
Yeah.
They come downstairs and they go, "Oh boy, it's phase 2. Give me. Where's my present, Santa?"
I miss
Oh,
it
the Rancor.
all the time, though. I
miss
always
it all
get
the
phase 4, and I'm like, no, I can't do anything
Oh,
in phase
it's the
4. I
worst
just die
coming out of
instantly.
Phase 4, and you're like, cool, 30,000 damage.
Yeah, I walked out of it with like 60,000 or something. It was, oh, God.
Yeah, that HK-47 gets his slow on the Rancor as you bring the door down, and you just wail on him for as long as you really want. And they're all landing, they're all sticking debuffs on him. And he takes the extra damage in phase 2 with the debuff. So you just slam into him. That is the only phase I really have a very well geared team for, and I have a kind of Yoda-based tenacity team for phase 3 and 4, which I guess we can get into, because turn 2 is just stick debuffs, stay alive, do as much damage as you can.
I was experimenting with, I don't know if you guys have done this. Have you Omega'd HK-47's lead?
I haven't.
Okay. I was
Next on
experimenting
my list, yeah.
with...
I Omega'd 88 just to test the dot theory.
Oh, yeah? How did that
go? You get 917 damage per dot. Not a big deal.
I brought in HK-47 lead, and I thought I would do just a ton more damage, and I was kind of leaving to try and find the most crits that I could, but I really didn't find actually it did that much more damage. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's not going to be noticeable, but you're going to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was expecting big numbers, Danny.
Yeah, you just wanted to
numbers.
destroy everything.
Yeah.
I broke the game because I put the Omega into HK-47.
I'm the first person to think about this. Nobody else has done this.
Greg, would you say you did roughly 15% more damage?
I think it was 20, actually. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
What about in correlation with the raids and gearing up your bench so you can have Omega-led abilities? Obviously, the Omega events are going on right now. Do you think those in correlation are going to kind of boost up guilds that might be struggling a bit with the raids so they can, be a little bit stronger?
I like the idea of the Omega events. It helps people stay competitive and try new things quicker because the demand for content is so strong, and in order to deliver good content, the devs do a good job of trying to slow people down. People get mad and upset. I see why they have to do it, because they don't want to release broken things, even though at times they do. I mean, we'll get into Echo later, where he was broken when he was released. And so Omega events are really good and help you push over the line. Like, hey, I want to test this out. Like we were talking about HK and 88. You want to test that out quicker, or you have only so many raids in a week? These are going to help speed up the progression for the people that want to spend the premium currency and say, I want to test this now. And I think that luxury is definitely nice for the people that want to invest the currency into those extra ability mats.
Yeah, and even just being able to get your A arena team up and running. If they didn't have that Omega event long before we could even use the things, really, I would still be scrabbling around to just have one or two of my A team, of my A arena team Omega, but I had enough to do 4 or 5 separate abilities.
You wouldn't be able to Omega until you hit rank 80.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Now, on the flip side, there are people that feel robbed and baited and switched, dare I say, that invested into 5's Omega.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was broken in the first place, and then doing this made it okay. I think this made it okay.
Yeah, I think he was not nerfed so much as I think that was a legitimate rebalance. We had a chat about this. And
there's a nerf versus balance, but then again, you've dropped 5 days worth of your time or money into an ability that is then turned around. And then the other thing is the Leia stealth. Is it really working as it's supposed to now? I mean, so that's if I'm investing in these things, I really want to make sure they're working right.
Well, okay, going back to 5s here. The first time it happened to me, it was like the first time anyone had Omega'd his primary ability, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And I messaged these guys. I messaged Joe and Greg, and I was like, "This is impossible. No, that shouldn't be possible. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen." And they're like, "No, check it again." And then I did, and I was like, "No, that's dumb. That's so stupid." He's like the most powerful double hitter, and he like counterattacks and double hits. This is stupid. This is insane. But then once they did this nerf, I was like, okay, that's a little better. I appreciate that now. Like, it's just, yeah.
I don't think he's total trash or anything now.
He's still great. I still want to put stuff into him.
People overvalued him, too, and cried about it so much because I was never intimidated by the double tap 5s because you can CC him. If you stun him, wail away.
Exactly.
When they did the stealth changes... If you hit him in stealth, he's like, who do I hit? Who's hitting me? Who's touching me? And so, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal to me because I had the character and roster to deal with him. But for those that didn't, I can see why it was really intimidating and scary. And if that was inhibiting them from getting their payout, then I can see why they were upset about it.
There was times where he would just wipe out the 3 of your standing characters.
Yeah.
If you
felt like hitting a brick wall.
Yeah, if you've watched any of my streams and we talk about 5s, it's always, if there's a 5s on the team pre-nerf, it was like, that. You remember that song Godsmack called I Stand Alone? He's like, stand alone. It's like,
it really is, yeah.
So,
yeah,
but for copyright infringement, we won't play that song. I'm sad.
I saw on Reddit, too, someone discussing maybe taking the Hearthstone approach, where when something was nerfed that much that they could offer... for 5 days or something, that if you wanted to, you could refund the character in a sense, get everything that you put back into it. Now, for a game that works this way, I don't think it would work where if a character was nerfed, then you could get back everything. Like if 5s was nerfed, then you bring your 5s back to nothing. You have no 5 shards, and you get back all the gear and blah, blah, blah. But maybe in that sense where they did something like the Omega switch, you could have it where you could at least get back your Omega.
Well, I think, and you can also probably sell him to the shard shop for something too.
The shard shop that does us no good for instinct. First world whale problems, but
I got a good 20 Vader shards out of there. I almost have him at 5.5 stars.
So let's talk about Echo now. We kind of missed the 3rd and 4th phases of the raid, but those are the boring phases. Let's not.
They are boring. Yeah.
Okay. All you need to know on those, I'll recap them super quick.
Go quick. Yeah.
Phase 3, check out resistance teams or rebel teams. They do really well in Phase 3. Phase 4 is tanky counter with a dodge or old Ben lead with like Kit Fisto, anything that's tanky and counter. And if you've got Yoda still alive, he's good there too for a minute.
So, Yoda's my only guy I can take into Phase 4 and do anything over 50k, really.
All right, let's talk about Echo. So, Merlin, you were saying that Echo was kind of broken on release. I have never seen an Echo on my shard, and I doubt I will because I seem to have kind of a free-to-play shard, which is really lucky for me.
So lucky.
Yeah, but
This is how I envision Echo. I'm not trying to cut you off, but
No,
I'm
no, go
excited
ahead.
to say this. You
Yeah.
remember Anchorman, where they're having the big fight, and Brick standing there with a hand grenade. He goes, "Brick, where'd you get a hand grenade?" Well, just picture Rex in lead, and he turns back and looks at Echo. He's like, "Echo, where'd you get an EMP grenade?" "I don't know." And he's just like, throws it. Every time he can throw it, he just threw it. So Echo came out anytime he could use his hand grenade, his EMP, he was just throwing it. He's like, "I love grenades, woo!" Even if there was nothing to dispel. There you go, Joe. He was just throwing it crazy. So I just always equate it to this is the Anchorman skin version of Echo.
Yeah. Killed a man with a trident.
Yeah, you probably want to lay low because you're probably wanted for murder, and Boba Fett's going to come find you, Echo.
so
And clones
has
are
anyone
so
encountered him?
good.
Yeah, I've
And-
killed a few Echoes.
What do you think? What team were they running Echo with?
Right now, where is Max Rebo? Oh,
Are they?
he
is he-
stopped running him. He was running fives with Rex and Echo, RG, and Ray, stuff like that.
You
Is he
kind
as
of have to
tanky
have.
as the other two clones?
Yeah.
Is he as tanky? Yeah.
Yeah,
You kind of need to have Rex, I guess, to really make Echo work at all.
Why are clones so tanky? They're useless things in the movie. Just-
Yeah, well, apparently they don't want bald people to feel discriminated against if you're Rex. I don't know. Well, maybe he's
Drew a
blonde. I
little
can't
bit.
tell.
Drew a little
But,
goatee on.
Rex's leadership, definitely when you have a bunch of Rays and Leias and GSs out there that are critting, it's an anti-crit. You get turn meter based off of crit.
yeah,
That's a big deal.
that's pretty
It-
cool. Yeah.
So it's an anti-crit, especially when Lando Leia was making its little rise. You remember old Castaspella had his whole nugget theory way back when about the crits. So it's an anti-crit team, and Rex can go gear 11. There's not a lot of characters that go gear 11, and I've been saying it since level cap increase. Look at the characters that can go to gear 11.
Yeah,
Those
that's why I'm
will
working
be
on
long-term good investments.
that's my IG86. I'm looking forward to getting him up to 11.
Same, yeah.
One thing
These
that was
go up
interesting.
to 11.
These one thing that a member of our guild, one of the bigger hitters in Team Skunk Omega, KF Dan, our compatriot here, he pointed out that it was actually quite easy to attain Echo. It's like they put him in the Chromium with the kind of drop rate of the guys like Fisto and Cad Bane and Leia. Like, he was showing us some of his rolls, where it was like an 8-pack of Chromiums and 6 of them were Echo shards and stuff like this. Like, I kind of wanted people to have it.
Yeah.
Is
No,
that
I remember his screenshot, and it was like 3 full character Echoes in a row,
Yeah.
and then a whole bunch of other characters. And it was like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here, have this grenade happy character. Everyone
And I-
needs him to frag their team.
Yeah, and I showed you, I showed the ritual guys here. Like the day after Echo came out, I had a 7-star full maxed out one on my server, and this dude obviously likes clones because he was running Rex, 5s, Echo, pretty much the team you described, Leia, and I think Ray or GS, and he had all his clones absolutely maxed, and his actual username in the game was CT5765 or something. Like this. Yeah, this guy
So-
was
What a nerd,
role playing
right?
it. Yeah,
What a nerd.
he was laughing. He was laughing it. Yeah.
So looking at the abilities, I'm looking at the cheat sheet here, and so when we're looking at giving 20% turn meter to a random ally on his basic that has less than 50% turn meter, wasn't that like an old Akbar thing that didn't really quite work well, or are they trying this again on his basic? It's got
they
a
have
high
it?
damage. It's a high damage basic, 3,500 to 3,900. That's kind of a high damage basic
I
too.
was reading that as well.
It's so good. It's so good. Like, why? It just
Well, it's because his
in my
special
mind
is
too.
so
If
bad.
they're this character too, as I went through all his abilities, there's so much synergy with all the tankiness and the
Yeah.
Rex lead and the anti-crit and the extra turn meter. It's like
I
they
don't-
sat down and they're like, how can we make this just a lot better? And then they gifted
And then they did it. Yeah.
gifted this guy.
But no, I don't know, Merlin, if you saw our last episode, but we actually kind of talked about. I was talking about a team on my server with a Rex lead, and it had Rex and Fives and Plo Kloon, and honestly, it was just infinity turn meter for days. So this guy is just adding more turn meter. This team is going to be pretty silly if somebody puts.
Now,
it
you'll
together.
also notice it's kind of a slower farm, but Clone Sergeant, that poor little nobody that's been sitting on the bench being like, put me in, coach, I want to play, come on. It's kind of like, come on, I want to play, guys. He'll go gear 10, and his AoE, he has an AoE that takes away turn meter from everybody. So not only are you gaining turns, you're denying turns with another
Actually,
character that's synergized.
Now you
That's
mentioned
crazy.
Clone Sergeant, this clone fella from my server, who I'm talking about. That was the 5th place that I couldn't think of. It was Clone
Yep.
Sergeant.
Mm.
Because you just blacked it out. You're like, no, that guy doesn't get to play.
No.
And on defense, when we're talking about who we're talking first, guess what? I'm going to spread everybody with it doesn't matter who we're targeting because you all don't have turn.
You broke up so much just then, but I think it made
it was so good. It just sounded like a robot ranting.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, clones have like crazy turn meter manipulation, and that's the team I want always, and it's kind of cool, but very expensive.
And those grenades aren't bad either.
Yeah, so Asajj Ventress is not the only AoE dispel in the game now. It's quite nice.
yeah.
And then, the rest of his skills is unique.
He's a
Just
double
giving-
unique.
Yeah, double unique. That he's just giving back his clone buddies a bunch of health because they don't have enough as it is, and then just, and a bit of assist.
Yeah. Here, take some health on your bars.
He is the Oprah of Star Wars
Phil-
Galaxy of Heroes.
Please
He's
check-
under everybody's seats. Frickin' crit return meter reduction under everybody's seats.
Yeah.
I got health.
I got an assist.
I got a hand grenade. EMP.
Yeah, crazy character, but I'm sure we're going to be seeing a little bit of him around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the time of the Ewok turn meter manipulation is over. The time of the clone has
Yeah.
come.
They had
Yeah.
such a short reign for the Ewoks.
I must have blinked and totally missed that.
It was
just-
more of a galactic war. It wasn't an arena
Yeah.
kind of rising. It
Well,
was like-
everyone got really excited about tier 6 of the raid, and then got to tier 7 with their max Ewok team and went, oh no.
Yeah.
Greg was like, fuzzy little meatball. Oh,
So annoying.
Yeah.
All right,
let's move on here.
let's move on and let's talk about Arena. So Arena, I was kind of worried that it might get a little stagnant once everyone was starting to hit 80, but even though it can be pretty stagnant, especially on my shard, what have you guys been playing? Let's just kind of run through people's lists, see what we're doing, because as Merlin mentioned before, we used to be all about the droids, but I think we've all kind of varied it up a little bit. So Joe, we'll start with you since you're right to my left here. What are you playing right now?
So I've been playing around with Phasma lead. I've been gearing up. I'm working towards a droid team with Jawa engineer because I love droids. But in the meantime, while my Jawa engineer isn't quite there and the old droids team isn't quite cutting it, I've been gearing up my 88 and my 86, pairing it with Phasma, a little bit of RG, and some Qui-Gon, and we're getting pretty good results with it. You know, I'm finished top 10 most days, top 5 on a good day. Haven't taken first for a while because I've been mainly running droids and having a bit of trouble. But it's a top 10 team, gets me in there every day, and it's just crazy Phasma with 2 assist calling characters and 2 AOE characters, and a little bit of RG just to be annoying. It's there's nothing too crazy going on there, just attacking a lot.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a pinch of red, huh? You just put a little pinch of red
A
in
little
there.
pinch of just when it's one of those assist teams where you're happy whoever you call. Actually, it's a bit weird to think that the saddest you are really is when you call Qui-Gon, just because his. But then I've omega'd his primary, so his primary reduces turn meter. So there's not a single person there. If it calls Phasma, she might get advantage from her primary. And then if she calls 86 or 88, they're just hitting like trucks. And if you call RG, you might get a stun. You got, Phasma raining in bullets from above, IG88 sweep attacking. It's just a
He's
rain.
the best taunt to call for an assist because you're just
Yeah.
just a chance of a stun. It's so good.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy with that team, and I've been talking about it a lot.
Nice. Danny, what are you running?
Well, I'm gonna make things quick here and just tell you that I'm still running droids, but
Danny,
instead of-
I was meant to be the only one that's still running droids.
Ah.
Okay, I returned back to the motherland.
I did vary for a while, and I kind of like fooled around with different comps, and I did try Phasma for a while, and I like Phasma, but no, I'm still running droids, and instead of Poe, which I actually never ran, and these guys did, instead of who did I replace? Poggle. I've replaced with RG. But anyways, yes, just like Joe, I'm working towards Jawa Engineer.
Yeah, I think we all are. That's for sure.
And
Definitely
he's
been
so
trying to.
easy to gear up to level 10.
Oh,
he's
definitely
like
is.
crazy easy.
Yeah.
I did it in a day. Like it was, yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, and Merlin, what are you running?
It's a couple different variations. It depends on what time of day and who's trying to push up. Because I'll sit number 1, 2, 3 all day, pretty well on defense with an old Ben lead. So I'm a scumbag, and I'll take that dot evasion. Yeah, boo! I hate your dodge.
No. I want that. That's good.
Yeah, and then of course the pinch of red is in the Royal Guard for his magical taunt and health. And then from there, I've always got either Rey, Leia. The current squad I'm sitting at is Old Ben, Phasma, not in lead though, RG, Rex, and Rey. I basically put all my top geared tunes in there and just kind of let them duke it out on defense. It's been quite
I'm
nice.
so happy you're not on my shard. That just sounds awful.
I like
So
how Phasma
bad.
has become a viable, not lead character.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I was thinking today,
when they
Phasma
gave
is just
shards,
so good
it was
now.
sad. Yeah, it was nice. I remember having her, and I had farmed her in Galactic War. They're like, here, have Phasma shards. And I go, oh, great. Shard shop, here we come.
hmm It's like
Yeah.
the droids event for me.
Exactly.
I'm trying to push towards HK. Well, I omega'd HK47, so I'm trying to experiment with the current droid lineup of HK47, IG86, IG88, Royal Guard, and Poggle. But I don't know, man. Like against certain things, it just doesn't cut it right now. That's for sure. I think once you get Jawa Engineer in there, but I'm trying to think who you're actually gonna cut. Like, am I gonna cut Royal Guard? I don't know.
No, I cut Poggle. I'm gonna cut Poggle.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna cut Poggle, but
You know what else
My
is
dream
scary?
is to.
Go ahead.
My dream is to run HK47, IG88, IG86, DACA Jawa Engineer,
for the revise.
just for revives and for stuns. You do basically everyone on your team except for
Infinity
HK47.
Team.
Everyone on your team except for HK47 is
And
basically.
borrow an Ewok Elder from Merlin so he can help raise you too.
It's like that Rick and Morty thing. Droids forever and ever droids.com. Ritual gaming and droids forever and ever and ever. Definitely, I've
But
been
wait, Greg,
enjoying.
Greg,
Yeah.
after putting your Omegas into HK47, he doesn't just kill everyone right away upon starting games? Is that what you're irritated about?
Insta win. HK47 win.
He still does such little damage.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
annoying. Yeah, but he does basically get 2 turns each. Well, when he has his AOE up, like he almost always gets the refill, and so does IG88. But
After literally everybody else.
yeah, after everyone else, and it doesn't do very much, but it does actually help against teams that have Rey and Royal Guard. Like
Yeah.
just kind of getting that little extra damage after you've gotten your.
And getting rid of her stupid foresight.
Yeah, it definitely helps, and getting an ability block on her too, then you can kind of finish her off there. It's pretty good. But all right.
Some other scary teams before you move on.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Is the double taunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
And it's
actually, Merlin, sorry, I wanted to ask you, why do you choose RG over Stormtrooper Han? Because every old Ben lead team I've seen runs Stormtrooper Han, and it is such a killer combo. Why do
because
you?
I'm still farming him.
Okay.
I've got the shards, but I've been putting gear into other places, and we're in the slow grind. If I wanted to put a bunch of money into buying gear out of shipments, maybe I could jump him up. But if a furnace would show up, that might help me out, man. I can't get a furnace, so that's a whole nother.
It's because you don't have them
it's a
ready.
good question for another time, Han. So,
So what are you running then with the double taunt? You're running Chewie.
the double taunts that I'm seeing that are working well, let me find one here. One includes Qui-Gon lead, Yoda, RG, Stormtrooper Han, and Rey. That's a pretty good team that sits top 5 on my shard. Others include some clones in there, and others just have like... the worst is when there's a Rey and a Leia that are shielded behind 2 taunts, and you just can't. It's MC Hammer all over the place. Can't
That
touch
is
this.
the worst. Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Unless you got Echo in there. I love EMPs. Come out of hiding, Leia.
Yeah, it's definitely a ref with those two. It's so hard to kill them. What was the other team you were gonna say? There was one more.
For me, no, that was
No.
that
Oh,
was
okay. The double
that's
taunts.
the heavy.
Sorry.
Yeah, the double taunts are scary. Akbar teams might do well too on other shards. It's not doing so well on mine, but I've seen some
Same.
pretty good.
Yeah, same
So-
actually.
Yeah, Hungry Eyes from our Team Skunk Alpha Guild runs a particularly meaty Akbar team on my server, and I play around that thing whenever possible. Though I did take my Phasma team in against it today and beat him for the first time ever, so...
I was bummed. Yeah, I was bummed to see like Tusken Shaman and Tusken Raider were a good combo for a while, but Tusken Shaman has like 5,900 power at max level, even geared and everything. He needs love, the Tusken Shaman going. "Rrr, rrr." But the same with Daka. Yeah. So I'm kind of seeing a couple characters fall off on my shard, but for younger players or people that are still trying to grind to 80, that may be some good team comps there too, where you've got the crowd control is a big deal if you can't manipulate the turn meter.
Don't worry. For those younger players, all I have to say is just start from, okay, I started in January, it's now May, and I'm almost level 80. So you'll be there anytime. Don't worry about it. It's all
Really
good.
quick. Don't worry about that.
For the low price of $1.05 every day, you too could be level 80 someday.
I was talking to my friend in Korea earlier, and he was saying that he's really enjoying the game and stuff, and he was like, "Man, there's some guys that are so strong at level 60, huh?" And I had just been talking to him for the last week, thinking that he was level 80 because everyone we interact with and talk to is always like level 80 or 79 or something like that. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot there's like another part to this game, you know?"
Well, you're
It's
not
like
just...
It's like the end of South Park where they're like, "Oh, what do we do now? We can finally play the game."
Yeah. All right, let's go on to our last couple sections and wrap this up soon. So, more than a feeling. Our more than a feeling. Our more than a feeling this week is Ray, the Dodge Master. So Joe did this one, and he said Ray has the highest dodge rate in the game right now. True? False?
I feel like it's true. One thing that's really been bugging me is, so when she's got Foresight up, and then you would do a sweep attack, like for me it's my IG-88 sweep, and she'll dodge the sweep attack like through her Foresight, leaving her Foresight still up, which I've never really understood. Is there some special skill that I didn't read properly, or is it possible to dodge on top of the fact that you have Foresight, which is automatically a dodge? So you dodged on top, so you didn't have to waste your Foresight dodge.
Yes,
Like,
that's exactly it. That's
exactly
it.
what she's been doing, and it's the worst. Like, it's your only chance to take her down, and then you spend another guy, like you get RG to go in there and try to just use your low DPS guy to take off the actual Foresight, and then she you get rid of that, and then she dodges the next 3 attacks anyway, and then it's game over because she's wiped out your entire team.
You know
Honestly,
another
every time
scary
I-
word? Deflection.
Deflection.
Yeah.
That's
Gross.
another scary word.
Yeah.
But no, every time I see her, I honestly have to like finish the game, pissed off, obviously, and then go to that person's like little circle of arena team, click on her, and go to her unique to make sure it hasn't been changed to super high chance of evade. Like I just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gross.
It's so funny though, because I'm on SWGOH.gg and I'm looking at her stat table, and the dodge rating is blank, the deflection rating is blank, so we don't really know. It's not here. I can't see it.
It's 95%. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Uh, this
We've
changes everything.
we've tested this, with science, and it's
Science. Yeah.
it's definitely 95%.
Mad science. Well, here's the other thing of it though. For people that are on the anti-train, oh, I'm not going to use that character because I think it's BS. Well, if you think of Foresight, the ability itself is a free taunt. The AI sees Foresight, they're like, ooh, it's a bold or red. They just go and attack it. So if you have characters that manipulate or utilize Foresight, it's kind of a big deal right now.
I don't find
arena
Foresight to be
defense.
I don't find Foresight to be such a heinous abomination upon the game as just passive dodge, but yeah.
Yeah, because it goes away.
Yeah.
Some
Unless they dodge. And
Yeah,
then it
that's true.
doesn't go.
Yeah, because of dodge, which
Yeah.
doesn't go away.
I feel like there should at least be something in the programming that says if you've got Foresight up and you get attacked, like
You cannot dodge the
your Foresight does the dodge.
Foresight,
You don't have
yeah.
like another dodge on top of the dodge that you've already got programmed in to guarantee, like the guaranteed dodge. It's just like seems a little broke.
The Foresight to know to dodge because you had Foresight to dodge to know the dodge. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I honestly want to write some dodge rules. There are dodge rules here that need to be put in place.
well, there's a reason League of Legends did away with dodge. Remember that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I can't believe that there hasn't been some sort of post or anything by the developers about dodge. Like, how much longer does this have to go on for?
Yeah.
No,
And that's
people
coming from
are
a guy
still
who used
upset
it.
about. Yeah, people are still upset about Dooku and Old Ben, and I did a whole comprehensive study in my last stream of what's a good lead and why are they good and what are the chances, and we really looked at that.
So, and you were talking to us before about this. You said that Old Ben was superior.
Depends. I always hate talking about one wins and one loses, because if you're going up against a full team of Jedi, Dooku. I mean, don't have a cookie cutter mindset is always my approach to a game. Is I like the I mean, the developers have done a good job. Whoever's in charge of balancing has done a really good job, because right now we're in the whole thing of, is there a quote unquote meta? Is there a you must have? And aside from everyone saying Farm Rey because she just like insta-gibs and assassinates and kills whoever she touches with her dodge foresight stick of doom, there's not a whole lot of other characters where it's like, I must have this. And so it's been pretty well balanced. But Dooku's good for players earlier. You can get him earlier. But in the long run, right now, Ben will really outshine Dooku in the long run, is what we determined at the end of the analysis. And if you want all the
that a lot on my
details...
shard.
Yeah, if you want all the details, we went through gear, we went through stats, we looked at anything and everything to say what cases is it good, what cases is it bad. But I know if the Rancor eats Old Ben, you're definitely happy during the raid.
Yeah.
But the thing about like Ben versus Dooku, in my mind, quickly summing this up in my mind, is that every time he dodges, he gains the one thing that I always think is also a very cool thing in the game. Turn meter. He gains turn meter.
That's
And
a big
then
deal.
yeah, exactly. And you mix him with Stormtrooper Han, who will gain turn meter whether you miss him or you hit him.
Yeah.
You're just flooring it. It's like it's
Yeah.
a crazy combination.
I
It's
think
gross.
the only time I've ever really made like a noise of frustration in this game is when I've been playing an arena against an Old Ben lead, and then Ray dodges with foresight up and then gains like so much turn meter, and us just
And then Stormtrooper Han just
dying
shoots gun in
inside.
the air.
Yeah,
and-
yeah,
You can't touch her.
yeah. As soon as ST Han like puts his gun in the air, it might as well be like game over.
Yeah, no,
droids.
exactly. That's exactly
Get
it.
the
If I
hell
can't
out of
stun
here.
Yeah.
Stormtrooper Han, it's game
Yeah.
over.
You should just do that.
Yeah.
It's like the French taunting in Monty Python.
All right, let's go on to our last part of the episode, and that is Wish Upon a Star. So our Wish Upon a Star this week, and as with every single Wish Upon a Star, did you just have a star there, Joe?
No, it's a fishbowl.
That would have been great. If
Yeah, that
you
would have been
had that
so
ready.
good. You didn't tell us about it. You just made
Yeah.
a star for it.
I blew it.
Next
Damn
time,
it.
Joe.
Yeah,
Our Wish Upon a Star for this time, and just like every Wish Upon a Star, we really like you guys to participate. If you have an idea for this too, let us know in the comments. We'd love to know. So our next one is what raid is next? What's going to happen with raiding? Obviously, there is a lot more to release because we can see there's space in the raids. So these are our ideas. Merlin, since you're the guest, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
Oh, I got three crazy ones I thought of real quick when you posed this question to me. So since Han Solo unlock is kind of a big deal, or the developers are pushing Han Solo to be such a big deal, I thought, so after everyone unlocks Han Solo, you can unlock an event or a raid in which you have to face various bounty hunters, and the final
That's cool.
showdowns. Yeah, the final showdown comes in Bespin, where you're having to fight off Boba Fett, Vader. But definitely bringing in, and it can open the door for more bounty hunters and scoundrels, because there are some people that still think that there's a scoundrel event somewhere coming. It's coming. Don't worry.
Hoping. They did all that farming. They're like, it's coming.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it.
And since clones have been on the rise, as we pointed out earlier in the show, another event or a raid could be when the clones unite and fight against Pon Krell. That's from the Clone Wars TV show series. So that would be a really cool thing after they realize his true intentions. I won't try and spoil it anymore from there, but I kind of did. But that would be a really cool event where you're having to fight against other clones, or you're having to take it's a predecessor to Order 66, and it would be kind of cool. And the last thing, since basically CG came out and gave away free Yoda, everybody, have a free Yoda. You need a Yoda. Oprah says, look under your seat, you get Yoda. So
it's
now
not
that everyone's
100% free. You still got a 7-star.
It
Yeah,
wasn't free for me.
I just know there's some harsh feelings in the galaxy from some folks that invested a lot of time, resources, energy, crystals, you name it, into Jedi. And but a really cool event would be some Sidious battles: Yoda versus Sidious, Yoda versus Dooku, where you can have some different stages. You can involve the Senate, you can involve the last episode of the Clone Wars series where they face off. It would definitely be, and then you've got the old Master and Apprentice with him and Dooku facing off. So if you have those and some faces where it's like Yoda versus the Sith, I mean, that would be really cool because everyone was in such a rage to get Yoda. Why not capitalize on it?
Yeah, I like
That's a
those.
cool
I
idea.
like those ideas. That's good.
I like the bounty hunter idea the best.
Yeah,
that
I
was-
like
that was
I
the
like
first-
bounty hunter one too. That's good. Danny, what did you think?
So I think, like, don't change it too much. I know people really want to change it, which is fine. But in my opinion, I think don't change it too much. But maybe instead of a Rancor, you fight a Wampa in the next raid. And if for those of you who aren't as nerdy as me, a Wampa is the Yeti-looking creature in Star Wars, the 2nd or 5th episode, if you will.
I just checked
Empire.
the time of this episode, and it's an hour and 8 minutes in. So I think if they're an hour and 8 minutes into episode 13 of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast, I think they know Wampa. And if they don't, what are you doing here?
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
It's just like Deadpool.
The
Why
wa-
are you still here? Go home.
What? Yeah. The way out of the rabbit hole is up there somewhere. Get out while you still can.
It's
Yeah,
just
I can't
one
move
dude.
once. so focused into.
This is how my streams go. I'm like, yeah, I tell my wife I'll go stream for an hour, and 3.5 hours later, I'm like, oh crap, that was a quick hour. She's like, why don't you come to bed? Oh, I didn't know it was like 1 a.m. Sorry. Oh, it's reset. Never mind. We got 4 more hours.
All right, so
let's
go
get
on,
back
Danny.
to the
Tell us about this
explanation of
mythical
Wampa.
Wampa. Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so same system that's set up with the Rancor. But your required characters change from raid to raid. So it's kind of like the Omega challenges where you can only have a certain amount of characters to raid. But here's the catch. You set up a team before you actually click like raid start. And then you enter with somebody else's team on your guild. I think that'd be fun just to kind of like play with another person's roster or play with another person's team. You could kind of screw people over, or you could get to play with like the coolest characters that you've never played with before.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put boy band Anakin in there for you, and you can deal with that.
Yeah.
It'd be fun if instead of the door button that you have to press or smash to pieces in the Rancor raid, it's just Luke upside down just trying to force pull his lightsaber into his hand. And then once he gets it, he just goes wild and wails on him for a while.
Yeah, you unlock Luke, and he goes over and beats the heck out of it. That'd be cool. Awesome assist.
Eviscerated.
And Joe, what about you?
So yeah, my idea was actually based around the Clone Wars a little bit. I thought it'd be cool to have like a droid-based raid, so you're attacking the droids, not being them, because I've spent a lot of time being them. But like the early episodes of Clone Wars where Grievous is going around with his army of droids just messing stuff up, and you could be and it would give a purpose to all of these garbage anti-droid Jedis and Ugnaught and these kind of characters.
Garbage.
So I thought it could be quite fun if this was more of a one-on-one thing, So you can take your Ethkoth in and have a kind of one-on-one with Grievous and his 4 lightsabers swinging around, and work your way through. So it's more one-on-one, and anti-droid synergies could become a thing, and to give people a reason to dust off their Ugnaughts and their Imagundis and their Ethkoths and then these kind of characters.
I can just see them trying to cast Joe as the General Kenobi, and he's just like so uncivilized and throws his blaster as he kills Grievous. We'll try and cast you, Joe.
Okay, I'm on it. I'll grow my hair out.
I think it would be cool where they had a raid that came out and definitely addressed some characters that don't see too much play. The one that I came up with was I kind of wanted an idea like Danny where you could use other people's characters, because there's so many characters that you don't get to use in the game. I mean, maybe the company actually wouldn't really like that because they want you to buy those characters, right? But I was thinking something where instead of bringing 5 into a raid, you bring a group of 7. So it could kind of just be like a bit of a different mode, so you can mix together different dudes. And basically you can bring your own 5 guys and then bring 2 guys in from your guild. And it can be anyone, like you can just picture it and choose. Oh, I think Skype just crashed. Are you guys here?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm here, but the video's gone.
Yeah, the whole video's gone. That's strange. Oh, you know what? Maybe our call went for too long. Oh yeah.
All right, let's finish it off.
All right, let's finish it off. So it's just me here, guys, and very nice.
And now Merlin.
Okay, now it's coming back, but you guys are dark. Anyways, you bring in 7 guys, and basically it's like a survive as long as you can against waves of dudes. And one thing that I actually really want to see implemented into the game is kind of skins or just kind of collectible items in a way, because as I was addressing before, one of the things I thought was cool about WoW was rare spawn mounts or something like that. And in this you could do it where each wave that comes could have a chance of having kind of a really rare guy, and it doesn't affect your raid score or anything like that. You're just the lucky dude that guy appeared, and maybe he could drop like a shader for one of your characters, or I don't know, a new blaster pistol for one of your guys. That's
a ship, maybe.
Yeah, or ships. That'd be cool. Yeah, something like that.
So in your gameplay, Greg, would the 2 extra guys be? Would you use their leader skills?
I think maybe you could choose 1 as a leader skill. If you use 2, then it would probably be completely unbalanceable. But
Well, I think it's a brilliant idea because if you think about it, you never get to test drive a character. That's why people go to forums, go to streams,
Yeah.
go look for gameplay of characters and want video. So unless you're fighting against one, how do you really truly get to test drive one? That's why we have the allies. And yeah, okay, that's a challenge, but that's not really facing another geared team with protection and stuff. It's facing sucky AI and challenges and stuff. So that's a brilliant idea. And yeah, you want one that does allow for leadership, but for characters that don't necessarily have a leadership, it wouldn't matter. So I think that's a really good idea.
yeah, cool.
It would encourage spending possibly or
Yeah,
investing.
I actually think it might, because then people will be like, well, I really want to play with that guy. Actually, I'll get him. I'll go out on it.
I was on the fence. Now I want him.
Yeah, I think we should end it there. We've done kind of a long episode. I want to thank our guest, Merlin, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
And,
Merlin.
Yeah.
I always enjoy our talks and our jokes of Oprah giving away free things to the community. So if you've stayed through the entire video, check under your seat.
You've heard the word Oprah 500 times.
Oprah and droids are just our keywords, really. So let us know what you guys think. What might be the next raid? What would you want to see as the next raid? Would it be different? Would it be kind of more of the same with just a different boss? Let us know, and we will see you for episode 14. This is Greg, Danny, and Joe with Merlin from Ritual Gaming signing off, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.